up on the Q30 Newscast, Quinnipiac makes strides in sports journalism.
Plus, students find an abnormal surprise in a cookie.
The news starts now.
Live from the Ed McMahon Center, this is the Q30 News Nightcast.
Good afternoon, Quinnipiac, and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Michele Herman.
And I'm Nicolette Fanelli. The heads of Quinnipiac School of Communications are doing something only one other school in the country has done.
Q30's own Taylor Popolars has more.
Sports seems to be the glue that holds humanity together.
And that is why Professor Richard Hanley in Quinnipiac School of Communications has announced the launch of a new Master of Science in Sports Journalism program that will begin in fall 2014.
It's an exciting field. It's a field that's growing significantly. And we really want to target this field on behalf of our students, so when they graduate, they'll get a gig.
Hanley is an associate professor of journalism at Quinnipiac and also directs the graduate program in journalism. He created this new graduate program to do one thing:
train students to work as professional practitioners in sports media.
According to Professor Hanley, Quinnipiac School of Communications is in the perfect location. Sports journalism jobs are nearby and are waiting to be taken.
The program emerged when we looked at the economic cluster of sports media companies in the I-95 corridor, actually stretching from Florida up to Boston, which is our wheelhouse for admissions.
That I-95 corridor is where sports media companies NESN, ESPN, and NBC Sports Network are located. Hanley wants to capitalize on Quinnipiac's location so he can help students succeed.
We want to make sure we create an internship pipeline and create a relationship so we can bring people in as guest speakers, bring them here as adjuncts, and really facilitate our students' entry into the field.
Junior Tom Albanese plans to pursue the program because of the opportunities it offers.
I knew from the lectures that the professors were giving on the program that Quinnipiac would be the first university in the Northeast to offer this degree, and I figured I can maybe have something that not a lot of students say that they have.
This new program will be the second to exist in the country, behind Indiana University, and Hanley believes a combination of luck and planning will help the fall's inaugural class of 20 to go far.
Geography is destiny, play to your strengths, and that's exactly what we plan to do.
Taylor Popolars, Q30 News.
Hosted their third annual media mashup. The event featured a career fair and information sessions with professionals in a variety of communications-related fields. At least 15 Quinnipiac alumni were present to talk about their current jobs in the media industry, as well as leaders from iStar Media and Prozac Partners. The career fair also had over 25 companies present.
Former New York Daily News editor-in-chief has been named head of the journalism department at Quinnipiac. Kevin Convey was a journalist for 3 decades, working his way up from reporter to editor at the Boston Herald before his move to the Daily News. After Convey's stint at the Daily News, he earned a master's degree in entrepreneurial journalism from the City University of New York. Convey will also assume the position of assistant professor.
Calling all Greeks, Greek Week has begun. This week is a time dedicated to all Greek organizations on campus. The events, which start tonight, are filled with food, activities, and friendly competition. Awards are given out throughout the week to recognize each organization for their accomplishments. Tonight's event is a guest speaker in BurtCon at 8 p.m. Thursday is Greek God and Goddess at 9:15 p.m. at TD Bank, and Friday is Lip Sync at 6 p.m. at TD Bank.
QU students can add some chirps to their diet. On Tuesday and Wednesday, students in Professor Julia Giblin's anthropology class offered free chocolate chip cookies and salsa made with crickets. These treats were part of a public outreach project to recognize food taboos. Students Gabrielle Friedman and Samantha Beckwith baked the cookies, saying it was similar to a normal cookie recipe. Giblin says insects provide a lean and nutrient-rich protein source and can even help sustain a green environment.
I wouldn't want a cookie with bugs in it, that's for sure.
As long as it didn't taste bad, I could eat it.
Coming up, we take a closer look at the big event.
And an earthquake rocks Chile.
Stay with us.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
The Bobcat Shop, located at 1010 Sherman Avenue in Hamden. Your #1 choice for Bobcat merchandise. The Bobcat Shop features 2 floors of countless styles and colors. With a full 19,000 square foot screen printing and embroidery operation on the premises, Campus Customs and Simplify can design and decorate any garment or promotional product as quickly as needed. Stop in and say hi.
Welcome back. We're joined by Caitlyn Maio, the co-chair of the big event. So, can you tell us a little bit about the big event?
Sure. It started about 30 years ago at Texas A&M, and then it spread here in 2009 by Jen Waltz, who was the Vice President of Public Relations for SGA. And so now, ever since then, it's grown. So it's the largest day of community service on campus with about 1,700 students participating. And it actually has spread across the country and around the world. So now the Alumni Association's involved. And they have students that are, or alumni, I should say, that are volunteering at about 12 different sites across the country, and one student that's actually volunteering in Ghana.
How many teams do you have registered this year?
This year we have 226 undergrad and graduate teams, as well as I think 3 faculty teams.
Wow. So are you seeing like a momentum kind of pick up like each year?
Yeah. So when I joined as a freshman, I was on the executive board, and we had about 1,100 students volunteer, which was double the size the first year that they had it, which is the year before, and now we're up to about 1,700 students, which is a huge increase.
Definitely. Do you have a site that's more popular than the rest?
We actually send the most students to Sleeping Giant, which is really convenient because it's right across the street, and it really hits home for a lot of students because they actually see what they're doing. We all hike Sleeping Giant, so it's really convenient. It's really nice for them to actually understand what they're doing and what community they're helping out. So we send about 130 volunteers there this year.
What do you think the most popular volunteer site is?
Besides the Sleeping Giant, we also send a lot to Camp Cedar Crest as well as the Girl Scouts. A lot of students love going to the Girl Scouts, so they set up the campsites for them. So they get to they do a lot more work there, so they actually have a full 3 hours filled.
Where are the Girl sites located, the specific sites?
I'm actually not sure. I think one of them is in Orange, but I'm not positive. So.
Okay, can you just tell us how to sign up?
Yep, so actually registration's closed for this year, but next year you can sign up on DUQU. You just search for Quinnipiac's Big Event, you go to forms, and the team captains sign up first, and they list everyone that's on their team, and then after that the team participants will go and register.
All right, well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
For many people, driving to work or smoking a cigarette is simply part of their everyday routine, but these activities can have some unseen effects. Q30's Kristen Campetta explains how sometimes what we can't see can be harmful.
Pollution is a problem that has plagued American society for years. Not only does pollution negatively affect our environment, it is also one of the leading causes of death and disability in humans. According to a report on the global burden of disease, dangerous particles in the air cause over 3.2 billion deaths per year. These air particles are called fine particulate matter and can be extremely dangerous because of their size.
These are really, really small particles, 2.5 microns or smaller. So if you had a human hair blown up to about that size, a PM 2.5 particle would be like a little dot on a human hair. So those things are very bad for public health because when you breathe particles that small in, they tend to go deep into your lungs and they can carry other sort of nasties along with them.
Fine particulate matter is caused by a number of factors, like power plants, but one of the main causes is car exhaust.
Cars have gotten a lot cleaner over the years due to federal standards and cleaner gasoline, but when a car is malfunctioning, especially its emission control system, one dirty car can pollute as much as 200 clean cars. So we want to identify those and make sure they're fixed.
Cities here in Connecticut like Hartford, New Haven, and Bridgeport tend to be the most polluted areas because of their proximity to the highways. But another important factor that also affects pollution is smoking.
Air pollution from tobacco use causes more than 6.3 million deaths per year. But people like Anthony Lancia are trying to change that.
I was a smoker and I'm actually trying to quit now because when you smoke, there's just a lot of chemicals in the cigarette that affect the environment in a bad way and your body in a bad way. Not only that, but it affects people around you in a bad way as well. So it's just overall just bad for the environment and for everything really going on.
Paul Farrell says that although a lot has been done to create a cleaner environment, we're still a long way from being completely pollution-free. But with federal regulations on power plants, the introduction of electric cars, and simple awareness, there is hope for cleaner air. Kristen Campetta, Q30 News.
Authorities in northern Chile are finding surprisingly light damage after an earthquake hit last night. The magnitude 8.2 earthquake caused thousands of people to be evacuated from their homes due to the threat of a tsunami.
The quake knocked out power for thousands of people, damaged an airport, and destroyed several businesses, but no other major damage was apparent. The tsunami warnings have since been lifted, allowing people to return home. 6 deaths have been reported. In world news, there's a new development in the missing Malaysian Airlines flight.
And the United States continues to try to resolve the tensions in Ukraine. Caitlyn Maio with more.
Thanks, guys. Concerns rise as Russia shows no sign of pulling its forces back from the Ukraine border. Alliance foreign ministers have decided to put all civilian and military partnership and collaboration on hold between NATO and Russia. U.S. officials say Russia had about 40,000 troops near Ukraine's frontier. People fear that Russia might attempt to enter Ukraine after it seized Ukraine's Crimea region last month. Russian President Vladimir Putin told Chancellor Angela Merkel that he would order a withdrawal of some of his troops from the Ukraine border, but NATO hasn't seen evidence of that yet. The search for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 has gone on for 3 weeks now, and there is still no sign of the plane. But it has been recently noted that the transcript of the last voice transmission from the plane was, quote, "Good night, Malaysian 370, end quote. Transmission authorities usually use the phrase, quote, "all right, good night," end quote. This new bit of information, as well as the floating debris found by satellites, are still the only main pieces of evidence officials have. Satellite data suggests it went down in the southern Indian Ocean, but there is no precise location. The search is ongoing. Former U.S. intelligence agent Jonathan Pollard could be released before Passover after being convicted of spying for Israel. The action is part of the efforts to save Israeli-Palestinian peace negotiations. The talk of his release was due to Secretary John Kerry's travels to Israel to try to make peace between Israel and Palestine over the release of Palestinian prisoners. No decisions have been made, but Israel would have to make compromises with Palestinians for Pollard's release to occur, which would include the release of additional prisoners. That's it for your world news. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Caitlin. Still ahead on the Q30 Newscast, Sami gives us the latest on the weather.
And we get the scoop on How I Met Your Mother's finale.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
The Bobcat Shop, located at 1010 Sherman Avenue in Hamden. Your #1 choice for Bobcat merchandise. The Bobcat Shop features 2 floors of countless styles and colors. With a full 19,000 square foot screen printing and embroidery operation on the premises, Campus Customs and Simplify can design and decorate any garment or promotional product as quickly as needed. Stop in and say hi.
Welcome back. With all the good weather lately, I hope Sami has some good news for us.
Thanks, ladies. Hello, Quinnipiac. My name is Sami Moore, and I'm here to give you this week's weather report. First, let's head over towards New York, where we can see that the current temperature is at 48, go up to Boston at 45, and go all the way to California, where San Francisco is at 50 and LA is at 54. As we head back on over towards Connecticut, we can see that Denver is at 34 as well. Now, as we move on to the radar, we will be able to see that it is currently, rain is coming in, however, Connecticut is dry. And then as we head to the local weather, we will be able to see that the current temperatures are 46 in Hartford, and then over here in Waterbury it's 47, and then over in New Haven it is 46. Next, we'll be able to see that tonight's forecast is 36 degrees, and it is clear with winds at 5 miles per hour. Then as we head on over to tomorrow's forecast, it'll be 59 degrees and partly cloudy. As for the 7-day forecast, Thursday, it'll be 59 degrees. Friday, 46. Saturday, 62. Sunday, 56. Rain on Monday and Tuesday, and then it'll get cloudy on Wednesday. Now back over to the desk.
Thanks, Sammy. So much has happened in TV, the world this week. One of my favorite comedians is actually about to say goodbye, and I'm going to be a little devastated about it.
I catch those type of shows every once in a while, but I am devastated about the end of How I Met Your Mother. Devastated. I don't know what I'm going to do on Monday nights anymore.
I've only watched a couple episodes, and I mean, I always thought it was really funny, but for me, I was just never like consistent with it. But I heard, because of BuzzFeed and all the social media people talking about it, that there was a big reveal at the end. Did you catch it?
I did catch it. I'm not sure if I loved every aspect of it, but, you know, as a loyal fan for 9 years, I am trying to stay positive. Hopefully Sarah and Nikki can update us on what else is going on in the entertainment world.
Thanks, girls. One celebrity announces they are leaving a show, while another announces they are joining one.
And a season finale comes to a legendary run. I'm Nikki DeRico.
And I'm Sarah Fidel, and this is your Entertainment Update. Fans of NBC's The Voice have something to feel happy about. Pharrell Williams will be joining the show for its 7th season. Pharrell previously appeared on The Voice as one of Usher's mentors. Adam Levine, a coach for all 6 seasons, sent a tweet to Pharrell after the news broke, saying, quote, "Welcome to the circus," end quote. It's still a secret who else will be spinning those red chairs around alongside Pharrell, but NBC plans to make announcements at a later date.
Chelsea Handler, host of E's hit show Chelsea Lately, is calling it quits after 8 years. The Hollywood Reporter revealed on Sunday that Handler's contract expires at the end of the year, but her comedic expertise and witty remarks will not be silenced. Handler plans to host a radio or late-night show in the near future. The Hollywood Reporter also says she currently rakes in $9 million per year and has more than 500,000 viewers per night. And after 9 seasons of slap bets, yellow umbrellas, and a blue French horn, the hit TV show How I Met Your Mother has come to an end. During the finale on Monday night, viewers found out about Ted and the mother's life together through a series of future frames.
They reveal the couple's first pregnancy, their wedding day, and the mother's eventual passing due to an illness. The 208-episode series ended with Ted confessing his love to Robin, bringing her the blue French horn. The show's finale has since received some mixed reviews.
That's all for your entertainment report. Now back to Nicolette at the desk.
Thanks, guys. The Quinnipiac men's hockey season has come to an end.
And a former men's hockey player makes it big. This story and more sports coverage after the break.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
The Bobcat Shop, located at 1010 Sherman Avenue in Hamden. Your #1 choice for Bobcat merchandise. The Bobcat Shop features 2 floors of countless styles and colors. With a full 19,000 square foot screen printing and embroidery operation on the premises, Campus Customs and Simplify can design and decorate any garment or promotional product as quickly as needed. Stop in and say hi.
Quinnipiac hockey team finally came to an end over the weekend.
But it's not all bad news for Quinnipiac, as one Bobcat made his NHL debut.
And spring sports are in full swing. Sarah Schreiner has more.
Thanks, guys. Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team was eliminated from the NCAA tournament by number 10 Providence last Friday. Mark Jankowski scored early in the first period, giving Providence an early 1-0 lead. Anthony Florentino and Shane Luke scored another 2 goals for Providence in the second period, extending the Providence lead to 3. The Friars added one more tally as Trevor Mangoya scored a power play goal with about 6 minutes left in regulation. Providence would skate to a 4-0 victory and end QU season with a record of 24-10-6. Finally, a former QU men's ice hockey player has made it big. Bryce Van Brabant made his National Hockey League debut last night for the Calgary Flames against the Maple Leafs in Toronto. Van Brabant is the first Quinnipiac hockey player to play in an NHL game in program history. In 40 games, he netted 15 goals and added 7 assists for 22 points. Van Brabant, a native of Morinville, Alberta, just finished his junior season at Quinnipiac. Meanwhile, spring sports are underway, including the men's lacrosse season. The squad topped Detroit Mercy 10-9 in a close game on Saturday afternoon. Detroit was first on the scoreboard with a goal from Shane Adams. QU responded about a minute later with a goal from Dylan Webster. By the end of the first quarter, the teams were tied 3-3. In the second quarter, the Titans scored 3 goals as QU's Webster and Henry Graves put 2 on the board. Quinnipiac erased a 2-goal deficit in the third quarter with goals from Ryan Keenan and Tom Gilligan, before both teams tallied 2 more each in the fourth quarter, sending the game into overtime. Michael Sagel scored the unassisted game winner for the Bobcats about 3 minutes into overtime. That's it for sports.
With just a month left until spring break, many students are hitting the gym. It's their best bet to burn off those last few pounds.
Our very own Elijah Westbrook gives us a few pointers on how we can shed those pounds without overexerting ourselves. Let's take a look.
Ah, the sights and sounds of summer. The chirping of birds, the crashing of waves on the shore, and oh yes, the beach bodies. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you realize it or not, it is actually spring. And although it may not feel like it, temperatures will start to increase according to local meteorologists. This means that people are getting ready to put away their winter boots and start pulling out their flip-flops. But the question that remains, are you ready for the summer?
I'm trying my best to get ready for the summer. It's not going so well.
Getting your body in shape for the summer is a challenge for most people, but there are ways in which you can go about doing this without overexerting yourself.
I mean, I'm sitting in a chair right now. I mean, you could substitute that with a stability ball, a yoga ball. You can sit on there, you're working your core as you're sitting there, so you don't have to do 20 minutes of crunches and sit-up exercises.
With students working out late in the year, how would they be able to stay motivated after not getting quick results?
Just coming in doing anything is better than doing nothing at all, okay? It comes down to really the old saying is 80-20, 80% out of the gym, 20% in the gym. So if you come in, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Whether it be cardio, you're on a treadmill, elliptical, you're running outside, the weather's finally getting nice.
Believe it or not, the weather plays a role in when people go to the gym, according to some students. Colder weather generally keeps students away from the gym, while warmer weather attracts students to go. But is this the case for all students?
Yeah, actually this morning I went and I've noticed that it was a lot more crowded than it has been.
Some last minute things to keep in mind to make sure that you get that perfect beach body is to make sure that you drink more water, reduce the amount of alcohol in your diet, as well as reduce the amount of starch that you eat daily. Standing here at Quinnipiac University, Elijah Westbrook, Q30 News.
Well, that's going to do it for Q30 News this week.
We'll be back next week, same time, same place.
Stay updated all week long by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Q30 News and by visiting our website at q30television.com.
Have a good night.